today's practice is about balancing this Vata quality that a lot of us are experiencing right now. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Vata dosha in Ayurveda is the energy of air and ether. There's 5 elements in Ayurveda and there's 3 doshas. So each dosha is comprised of 2 elements. And it's that energy that's within us, it's within nature, it's in life cycles, it permeates all parts of life. So the Vata energy is that it can be very light and expansive, but it also can be very scattered. So Pitta energy is the energy that moves up. Kapha is earth energy that moves down. And then Vata energy is kind of like this, right? And you can probably see even myself, I'm a little bit imbalanced this morning because that's that energy of sort of being up in your head, a million thoughts running through your mind. You can't, yes, scattered is the word, Lisa. And it's just like boom, 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 right? Shiny object syndrome is a good example of Vata energy. At least that's what I call it. So when you see something, you're like, ooh, and then you see something else, and you're like, ooh, it's that kind of energy, right? So it can be very creative and expansive, and it can also be, when it goes out of balance, kind of all over the place. And the holiday season contributes to that energy 100%, which is what made me decide to make that our theme for class today, is because I feel like I'm, you're kind of being pulled, like, you can't see my arms, but like, when one arm's being pulled this way and one arm's that way, and then the legs, and you just feel like you're being, I hate to use this expression, but drawn and quartered in some ways, like you're just being pulled in a million directions. Some of it's really fun, but it's exhausting and tiring. So, the last few weeks we've been really focused on soothing our nervous system. So we'll be doing that, but it'll be a little bit stronger today than it was over the last couple weeks. Christine says, oh, that's so me, right? And we do our best, a lot of us, especially in the yoga and meditation community, to find these tools to help us calm down. So that's really what our practice is today. So as always, I invite you to leave behind what doesn't work for you. Modify. Skip a pose. Take a child's pose when you need. It's not going to be like crazy strong, but we will have some balanced poses and things integrated into our practice today. So it's not going to be all mat work like the last few weeks. If you'd like, as always, I recommend a couple blocks just to have them on hand. If you don't have them on hand, I will give you alternatives, so no worries. Any comments before we get started today? Questions? And let me know who's joined us that's just showing up. And you can see by how fast I'm talking today that I've got a little of that Vata energy kind of going, right? I was doing that last night, I noticed, as I was coaching. Oh yeah, and I should probably introduce that part of my life, right? Besides a yoga teacher, I'm a spiritual lifestyle and health coach and wellness coach. And you can learn more about me if you go to my link tree. It's in my bio or the About tab on Insight Timer, and there's my link tree there with all the links to all the things, my website and my podcast, which I said I was going to have out this week. And guess what didn't happen? Something had to give. Unfortunately, it was editing my podcast. So it will be coming out. It will be coming out in the next episode. But feel free to check that out and message me if you have any questions. Leslie says, good morning from New York. Good morning, Leslie. I'm so happy you're here. Fiona saying hi to friends. Adela, hello from Berlin, Germany. 2 p.m. here. Well, good afternoon, Adela. Welcome, and thank you for joining. Anne joins us from Norway. She's probably on a very similar time zone, if not the same one. So welcome. And you're on the same time zone as my dear friend who I talked to 2 days ago. So that's nice. She's in Belgium. All right. Enough talk then. Let us get to our mats. We are just going to come to a simple seat. So you can sit in Sukhasana, simple cross-legged position. Vajrasana, if you want to sit back on your heels. Thanks, Christine. I'm glad she said loves my podcast. And I really had intended this week to get it edited. And there's not that much to edit, but it's just taking the time to do it, right? So it will be coming out. Be on the lookout. And hopefully I'll have a newsletter releasing it next week as well. So if you want to sign up for my newsletter, you can do that on my link tree as well. All right, let us get started. Making our way to the mat here. If you want to sit in Vajrasana and you want a blanket for supported heroes, a blanket, wow, there's that Vata energy, block for supported heroes. You're welcome to place that underneath your seat. If you have a blanket and you want to use that for a little lift and you're sitting in Sukhasana, that might feel really nice. So let's just take a few moments here to relax the shoulders down, soften the face, and just begin to tune into your breath. And for those of you just joining, we do about a 40-minute practice followed by a 10 to 15-minute meditation, 40 to 45-minute practice. So I hope you all can stay till the end. And of course, at any point, if you would like to offer a donation as an energy exchange, those are always welcome and appreciated. And soften your face, relax your jaw. Notice if you're slouching over, can you lengthen your spine a little bit, get a little taller in the spine. Notice as if there's a string on the crown of your head. Eyes can be softly down to the ground or closed. And let's start with some deep belly breaths. So I like to envision sort of a balloon expanding in my abdomen as I breathe in, and then contracting as if all the air is coming out as you exhale. So it's a little bit controlled, but we're not overexerting. In the last couple of weeks, we talked about, especially last week, stimulating the vagus nerve. So with each inhale, expand the belly like that balloon. And with each exhale, let it soften and slightly contract. Just notice the belly expanding. And one of the ways to stimulate the vagus nerve, we did bumblebee breath last week. This breath work is really simple, and taking deep belly breaths can help you move into that rest and digest state. So soothing the nervous system, as simple as deep belly breaths, in and out of the nose. And if you have trouble belly breathing, there's a technique. It's called, there's a whole series to it, but Pratiloma Pranayama. But basically the technique is that you're going to half close off your nostrils as you breathe in. And then you can relax them and let go on the exhale as you breathe out the nose. But when you sort of half close the nostrils, automatically the belly expands. So just notice that. Try it out. I find it a nice, easy way to come into a belly breath because it automatically, your body does it. It's pretty cool, actually. And I invite you today, as you continue to breathe, to set an intention for yourself, perhaps one of calming, of grounding, of balancing our Vata energy. So that's how we balance Vata. Vata's air and ether, right? Space, movement, wind, scattered energy. We want to balance it with grounding energy, earthy energy. So perhaps your intention is around that. It's around self-care. And Vata energy needs structure and routine. So I think a lot of us become imbalanced because this time of year, with all the holiday celebrations and festivities, going all the way into the new year for much of the world, even into Lunar New Year for the, eastern part of the world, there's a lot happening. And it easily throws us off. And on top of that, it's the season of Vata with cold, dry, brisk air, wind, especially as we move towards winter in January. So it's important to warm ourselves and ground ourselves. Let's take one nice cleansing breath this time. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale audibly, sigh it out. Let it go. Blink the eyes open. And we're going to move into our Kapalabhati breathing. If you have uncontrolled high blood pressure or are menstruating or pregnant, just take deep belly breaths and continue. For the rest of us, we're going to do that Kapalabhati breath. So I have the shirt on today to show you what that looks like. As you exhale, you're going to do a kind of a sharp contraction of the upper abdominals right here. So it's, and you let the inhale come naturally. This is a very warming and stimulating breath, okay? Great for helping to balance Vata. We want to build a little warmth in our body for all the northern hemisphere, right? It's cold this time of year for many of us. And we're going to do this for about a minute. So you can just let the arms rest softly. If you want to come to the full expression and you know where you're going, you can take this mudra version, right? As if you're in a Kundalini class. The rest of us, we can just relax the hands. And take a couple nice deep breaths in and out first. And then we're going to begin. Let the eyes come to a close. Your attention will come to your third eye center, space between the eyebrows. A nice deep breath in and begin. And keep going. And I'll pay attention to the minute here. So just let the breath go in and out. As much as is comfortable, you can go faster or slower than what I'm doing. And if you're moving so hard, your whole body's shaking, back off a little bit. Take a lighter version of Kapalabhati breath. And you can even go faster. And this is a lot. Keep going. I know it seems like forever. About 15 more seconds or so. Keep going. 10 more seconds. I lied when I said 15, sorry. Keep going. Saw the clock wrong. And slow it down. Exhale. Relax the face. Keep the eyes closed. Nice deep inhale. Fill the belly all the way up to the chest. Hold at the top, engage your pelvic floor, engage Mula Bandha, navel pulls back towards spine, chin comes back slightly. So all three energy locks, and we're going to hold as long as it's comfortable here. Feel the warmth in your body. Keep holding, keep squeezing, hold, hold, hold. And when it's uncomfortable to hold, exhale the breath. And let it go whenever you're ready. All the energy locks and the breath. Notice how you're feeling. So good. Blink the eyes open. If you're in supported heroes, go ahead and move the block. And we're all going to move to our Sukhasana position, simple cross-legged position. And let's just begin with some cat-cows, but we're going to reverse our breath in our cat-cow. So normally we're inhaling, opening, exhaling, rounding. Maybe take that a time or two just to feel into it. And hands just at the knees is fine. They can even come down towards the shins if that feels better. All right, let's come back to center. We're going to inhale and round and exhale and open. Inhale, round, exhale, open. And we're going to go a little quickly here. So when you inhale and round, you feel your back really expand. The lungs are expanding into your back body. Let the eyes close if that's comfortable. Just feel into your body as you take this breath. Inhale, round. Exhale, open. Keep going. About 10 to 15 more seconds. Face is soft. Really feel the opening in your upper back. Two more rounds. Come back to center, pause, notice how you're feeling. Feel the heat and warmth that you've built in the upper back. So good. Blink your eyes open. Now we'll begin some more movements through the upper body. Inhale, let the arms float up. And exhale, bring them down through prayer. Let's take that a couple more times. Inhale, extend the arms up, gaze lifts. Exhale, hands through heart center. And again, inhale, extend. Exhale, lower down. Pause for just a moment. Notice the sensations in your body and then release. Inhale, come up one more time. Exhale, take a twist to your right fingertips behind, left hand to your right knee. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, turn the torso to the right. And you can use a block here if you need that support under your back hand, or walk your right fingertips back a little bit just to give yourself a little more support. Good. Inhale, release. Come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand to the left knee. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, take a twist to your left. Relax your face and jaw. Relax your tongue. At any point in this practice, if it feels good to close the eyes, go ahead and close them. Inhale, release. Arms lift, come back to center. Exhale, hands through heart center. Let's make our way into tabletop. And come up to your knees. So come on up all the way to your knees to standing. We're going to do a little flow from our kneeling position. So gentle sun salutations from the knees. So inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, come back to tabletop. Inhale to cow. Exhale, round to cat. Let's take that again. Inhale, rise onto your knees, palms meet. Exhale, release hands down, tabletop. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round to cat. Inhale, rise up onto your knees. Last one like this. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, lift your heart, open your chest. Exhale, round through the spine. Now sending your hips towards your heels, stretch your arms forward. Taking this modified child's pose, knees are parallel. Stay for another breath. Really extend the fingertips long, elbows are lifted. So good. Inhale, rise up onto your knees, palms meet above. Exhale, hands lower down to the mat. Walk your fingertips forward and lower your heart, puppy pose. Lower your forehead or chin to the mat. Keep the elbows lifted, arms extended, hips over heels, so your bottom's up in the air. Enjoy that nice stretch through the upper arms. One more breath. So when we balance Vata, inhale, come on up, come back to your knees. We want to make sure that we're balancing the grounding poses with movement, because Vata wants to move, right? It's hard to sit still when your energy's moving like this. So we need to move and then balance it with holds. We're going to come to camel's pose. Place your fists onto your sacrum or the flat side of your palm, and you can flip fingertips up or down, whatever works in your body. I'm a fan of the fists at the low back. And just start by sort of lifting up through the hip points. So feel the strength of the quads. You're leaning back slightly. All right, so this is all engaged. Feel your core engage. Begin to draw your shoulders onto your back. Open through the heart. Lift your chest. Lift your gaze. 3 breaths here. So although normally we wouldn't balance Vata by coming up, it's a strong pose. And we're going to counterbalance it with those grounding poses. Normally we would keep gaze at eye level, and in fact, if lifting at your neck up, opening up through the neck feels uncomfortable, bring your gaze straight forward. So good. One more breath. So strong. Excellent. Go ahead and release that. Sit back on your heels for a moment. And then relax your forehead down, fingertips by your feet. Embryo pose. Good. Come on up. Let's come to our first down dog practice. So plant your palms, tuck your toes. We're going to send hips high. Coming to down dog. And let's start with bent knees. So I love to start this way. I always cue it this way pretty much. And the reason for that is to get long in your spine. So when you straighten your legs, you might start to roll forward, and it puts a lot more pressure on your wrists and your shoulders, okay? So when you bend through the knees and send your bottom to the sky, just like in puppy pose, it's a standing version, right? It's down dog. You're going to root through your fingertips, root through your index and thumb knuckles, spin the eyes of your elbows forward, roll your shoulders down your back. And my legs are still really pretty bent here. Lengthen through the arms. And then when you're in that pose, if you'd like to begin to press one heel and then press the other heel and just pedal it out for a moment. And if you don't want to pedal it out, just stay with your down dog. And if this is too much on the shoulders or is not working in your body today, take puppy, take child's, take an alternate. And sometimes if you have shoulder injuries, child's isn't even an option, right? You can take tabletop. Just stick with your cat-cows. All right, let's take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, let's roll forward to a high plank. Hold for a breath. Getting a little strong in our core today. And then exhale, take it back to dog. Then walk your feet up about, a footprint. And you can let your feet come nice and wide here. We're going to come into a twist. So you're going to root down through your left hand. You can place it towards the center of the mat if that feels better for you. And then right hand is going to grab for your left shin. Spin your gaze under your left armpit. And you may or may not be able to lower both heels. They might lift up. Just experiment with that. One more breath. So good. And release the right hand down. Pause, center. Right hand towards the middle of the mat. Left hand grabs for the outside of your right calf. Spin your gaze under your right armpit. And if this isn't happening for you today, no worries. Go ahead and release the hands back to down dog. Step the feet back to your normal down dog position. One more breath. And then bend through the knees. Let's take a little walk to the top of our mat. Forward fold as you arrive. Keeping a bend in the knees, coming to Uttanasana. You might want to grab for opposite elbows and just let the head hang. We've got 3 breaths. So good. One more inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Let it go. Excellent. Release the fingertips. Come up halfway. Lengthening and strengthening your back. We're going to take 3 breaths in our half lift today. So legs are straight. Spine is parallel with the floor. Face is soft. One more breath. And as you exhale, lower down again. Let it go. This time we'll rise all the way up. Little bend through the knees, flat back. Come to high mountain pose. Extend the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Pause in your Tadasana. And we're going to come into some pelvic floor lifts. So really engaging our root lock today. That's going to help us ground down. You can have hands at heart center or just let the palms come down by the side. Usually that's where I like to let my arms go. Take a moment to roll the shoulders up, down, and back, and then forward. Just to get a little movement in the shoulders. If you have any wiggles you need to get out, take those now. And then set your feet parallel. Begin to ground down through your feet and engage your quads. So we're going to get really strong in our Tadasana today. Roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Navel pulls in. Fingertips down by your side. Soften your face and jaw. As you inhale, let the belly expand for a moment. Let the breath come all the way up to the collarbones. And then as you exhale, I'd like you to contract the pelvic floor. Lift and squeeze the Kegel muscles. So if you're pulling up from your perineum all the way up to your navel center, navel pulls in towards spine. And inhale, release. And exhale, pause. Let's take that again. Strong through the legs. Inhale, belly expands. Breath moves up into the chest. Pause at the top, squeeze the pelvic floor, navel pulls in towards spine, exhale. And release on your inhale and pause and relax. Let's do one more round like that. Strong in the legs. Inhale, belly expands. Breath moves up into the upper chest. Pause at the top, squeeze the pelvic floor, navel pulls in towards spine. Nice slow exhale out the nose. And then relax, inhale. Soften the body, so good. Let's flush that out with a half sun salutation. Inhale, fingertips lift. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, lift through your heart, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. Ground down, rise all the way up, high mountain pose. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take that again. Inhale, lift, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Ground down and rise all the way up, high mountain pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to build just a little bit more heat. Taking a full sun salutation this time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Clench your palms. Let's come back to a high plank. Low plank is your alternative. Stay for a couple breaths. So we need to build that heat to focus our energy, right? One more breath. So good, so strong. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Come to this little caterpillar shape, butt up in the air for a moment. And then lower down onto your belly. We're going to come into a cobra. We don't want to do excessive back bends when we're balancing our Vata. So let your fingertips come to just outside of the mat. Elbows are coming up, and we'll do some cobra rolls. So inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, lower back down. Take two more of those. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Just opening up through the chest slightly, bringing a little bit of energy up, but not a ton. And if you're not having a Vata imbalance, you can make this much stronger if you need more energy. Press into your palms, send your hips towards your heels. Child's pose, arms extended, active child's. So elbows are lifted. You can even come up onto your fingertips and really get strong. Two more breaths. So good. Look up, lift your gaze, come back to hands and knees, walk your hands forward. Let's make our way back to down dog. Take a breath or two here. Good. Bend through your knees, look forward. Step up to the top of your mat, forward fold as you arrive. And this time we're going to come into Padangusthasana, big toe grab. So bend through your knees so you can reach your feet. That might be a lot. You're going to use your peace fingers to the inside of your big toes. And then let your thumbs kind of wrap around. Let your head hang heavy. So notice how bent my knees are. My elbows are bent and they come out to the side. And then I'm going to straighten my legs a micro amount. Like my sits bones are going up, but I'm not going to get real far. So I want you to keep that connection of belly to thigh. So it might be like a centimeter that you move, and it might be a millimeter, right? You might be like, I'm not going anywhere. But it's making that effort and action that we're looking for here. Let's take two more breaths in our big toe hold. And you might need to do a little wiggling. I kind of need to use the strength of your fingers to sort of pull yourself inwards. Last inhale, exhale, let it go. Release the big toes. Come up once again, halfway lift. Strong in your spine, hold for a couple breaths. So good. Inhale, come all the way up, high mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do one more full sun salute, a little bit quicker this time. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, make your way back to high plank. This time, if you want to take a chaturanga, you may, or you can stick with knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Come all the way to your belly. Inhale, come up to a low cobra, lift the heart. Exhale, lower down. Press up either straight into push up or tabletop, and then send your hips back, down dog. So good. Another breath in your dog. Reset. Bend through your knees, gaze forward. Step, walk, hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. This time we're going to come into Malasana. If you need your blocks, go ahead and grab those. We're going to come down to our yogi squat. So let the toes come out to the side. And you can let the heels lift if you need to. Press your elbows into your knees. And if you feel like you're rounding to get your feet to the floor, let the heels come up and lengthen through your spine. You can also grab a wonderful block here and place it under your seat at any height. And that actually can help you really get more into the inner thighs. It takes some of the pressure off of the strengthening piece of this move. So we're just getting into your squat. If you're like, my knees don't go here, you can actually go over to the wall and just not do a wall sit, but use the wall as a support against, for your bum. So your bum just kind of goes up against the wall. You can lean forward a little bit and take a squat that way. One more breath in our Malasana. So good. Let the hands come down. Take a forward fold. Toes come forward and just relax here in your forward fold. And then let's step into a wide leg forward fold. So maybe come up first if you need to. If you're in a good position to just move there, go for it. We're going to let the feet come parallel. Toes pointed forward. Think about lengthening and opening through the heart if you're standing. And then as you exhale, fingertips come down under the shoulders. Relax your head down. Let your weight come slightly forward into the balls of your feet. Begin to walk your hands back. And if this is not accessible to you, use your blocks as an extension of your arms. Relax your head and jaw. So good. One more breath. Inhale, fingertips come up under the shoulders, hands to waist, rise all the way up. Step up to Tadasana, top of the mat. Pause. Notice how you're feeling. And so good. All right, we're going to do a little bit of balance today. So we're going to root down through your left foot to start. Hands can come to your waist or to heart center. Begin to lift your right knee up and maybe even grab your right knee. Maybe that feels good. And we're just going to explore with extending this right leg. You can use your fingers around your foot. If you happen to have a belt or strap, you can do that. As you can see, when I do this, I cannot straighten this leg. So it would actually help me to have a strap, and I didn't tell you all to get that. But if you'd like to grab a strap or belt, go ahead. Otherwise, you can try the big toe lock, extending your right leg forward. But if you start to round like this, it's probably better to keep a bend in your knees, all right? So we're strengthening and balancing through the left leg. So good. Give yourself a smile. Gaze is neutral. One more breath. And then we're gently going to release that, coming to tree pose. Woo. If you fall out, no worries. So maybe the foot goes above the knee. Maybe it comes down to your calf. And then hands to heart center. Draw your outer hip in. So left hip is pulling in. Foot and thigh are pressing against each other. And you may stay here or grow your branches tall. Relax your shoulders. One more breath. Excellent. Exhale, release that. Give your hips a little wiggle side to side. And then let's come to the other side. So starting with our big toe hold with the left foot, ground into your right leg. If you have a strap or belt, grab it. Actually, your yoga mat strap can be very helpful in this pose. And then you can use your peace fingers around your left big toe. Maybe you just start by holding the left knee. Maybe this is where you're at today. That is completely fine. You don't need to be any further than this, okay? If you want to try that big toe lock, go ahead and grab the big toe. Begin to extend the left leg forward. And it's okay to keep a bend in that left knee. I know I just don't have the range really. I start to round if I try to extend that forward. Strong, strong, strong in your right leg. Embrace the wobbles. Give yourself a smile. Gaze straight ahead. Staring at something, not moving. Let's take one more breath here. So good. Then let's transition to tree. So bending through the left knee. Perhaps the left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. Or you can just bring it down to the ground if you're here for tree today. It's all good. But no matter where you're at, if you feel this right hip popping out, draw it in. Feel really strong through your right leg. Navel pulls in towards spine. Feel your groundedness. Feel your strength. Feel roots growing down from that right foot. And if you want to play with, explore growing your branches, go ahead and do that. Soften your face and jaw. Smile. Let's take one more breath. So good. Exhale, hands release to heart center, release the left foot down. Give your hips a little wiggle side to side and then pause in your Tadasana. Just let the eyes come to a close. Notice how you're feeling. Notice the strength you've created today. The heat you've built. The energy you've moved. Are you feeling a little more balanced? We'll take a nice slow half sun salutation. Inhale, let the arms float up. Exhale, hands through heart center, come all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms, let's step your left foot back to a runner's lunge. Pause here, look forward. And then exhale, bend through the left knee, drop the left foot. Staying in a supported version of our low lunge today. You can use your blocks here if you like. This is a really nice spot for blocks actually. So you can kind of lift the heart and just feel into your left hip flexor. Let the face be soft. Let's counter that. Straightening through the right leg, walking your fingertips back. Maybe heel toeing your right foot forward a little just to get a little more stability in the left knee. And let's come to the other side. So come around through tabletop. Left foot's going to come forward. Setting up in your low lunge, your supported low lunge today. Untuck the right toes and feel into your right hip flexor for a moment. Even a little sway side to side might feel nice. So we're just sort of doing a variation of Anjaneyasana. We're not doing a lot of efforting today. I'm not giving my 10 cues that I give, right? I just want you to feel into the stretch and maybe lift your heart a little bit. We don't want to do our excessive back bending today. We did our camel, that was enough. So we're staying low to the ground, just balancing that energy. So good. Send your left leg straight. Maybe heel toe the left foot forward. And send your hips back just a little bit. So we're not sitting all the way back. Notice my hips are still over my right knee. Flex your left toes. Relax your head down. Soften your face. Just feel into that stretch. And one of the best ways to balance our scattered energy is to take forward folds. Notice we've done quite a few, from child's pose, even down dog as an inversion is a really nice pose to balance. I feel like that balances a lot of energies. It's a good pose. So good. Go ahead and bend through the left knee. Crawl yourself forward. And come back to your tabletop. Let's come back to child's pose. Send your knees wide. And lower your forehead down. And this time you can let your elbows soften. So we're taking a soft child's pose. Another breath. So good. Crawl yourself back up. Sit back on your heels. Knees come together. Pause. Notice how you're feeling. Soften your face. Relax your jaw. Tongue relaxes. Let the eyes blink open. So good. Let's spin around to take Paschimottanasana once again from a seated position. So we did it standing earlier. You can move any flesh out from under your sits bones. If you have a blanket and want to place that under your seat, that might feel nice. And just start by lengthening and strengthening. So coming to staff pose, toes are flexed. Spine is long and strong, right? So you can stay supported with the hands on the ground. Perhaps you want to lengthen the spine a little bit more. I love to draw my thumbs to my armpits and lift my chest a little. And perhaps releasing fingertips up to the sky. Really, quads are engaged, toes are flexed. Feel the strength in the body. So good, right? And then as you exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips. You might grab for your feet and big toes and take that big toe lock once again. If that's not in your accessibility today, just let your hands come down to your shins, your thighs, the mat, all right? Let your neck relax. And then once again, fill up the belly with your inhale. Come up slightly. Feel your belly press against your thighs. And then exhale, feel it contract. And maybe you pull yourself in a little deeper. If you're taking the big toe lock, just like when we were standing, you're still grounding through the legs. But we're going to take, instead of bent legs, nice strong legs today. So even if you're not really in this pose and you're all the way up here, I want you to engage your quads and straighten your legs today. Feel the grounding and strength. Inhale, belly fills. Exhale, can you fold a little deeper? Let's take one more round like that. And just notice as the belly contracts how you can fold in a little bit more. Relax the back of the neck, chin towards your chest. Keep grounding through the legs, so strong. Last breath. And then relax, slowly rolling up. So good. Let's make our way onto our backs now. We're going to come to one round of bridge. And actually, I changed my mind. Let's come up. Place your feet in front of you. We're going to come to Navasana first before we take our bridge pose. So we need a little core strengthening. Go ahead and lift the toes. You can stay supported if you're rounding like this. I want you to lengthen your spine. You can lean back a little bit, but feel your core turning on here. Toes can be flexed, pointed, doesn't really matter. You can float the hands. We're going to take 3 breaths in our Navasana. So if you want to stay supported and more like this today, great. Let your face be soft, relaxed. One more breath. So good. Now let's slowly lower down onto our backs. Nice and slow. And place your feet onto the mat. Now we'll set up for a little bridge pose here. Letting your heels come closer to your seat. Begin to press the low back into the ground. Lift your hips. You can grab for the sides of your mat or interlace hands underneath you, rolling your shoulder blades onto your back. And yes, we are doing a little bit of a back bend here, but we're also really strong in the quads. So as you lift your hips, feel your quads engage. Feel your knees press forward. Open through your heart. Soften your face. So good. One more breath. And now release your hands if they're interlaced. We're going to slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. I want you to feel each vertebra as it makes its way onto the mat, all the way to your low back, pressing your low back down, pressing your hips down, and then relax. Take a little slight arch in the low back, pelvis tilts forward. And come back to center. Pause here. Feel the sensations in your body. Lift your knees so you're in this sort of 90-degree position with the knees. Cross your right knee over your left. And then we're just going to let them fall to the left. Arms can come to a cactus. They can come to a T. Gaze can stay straight up, or it can come over the right shoulder. Nice deep twist here. Good. Let your gaze come back to center. Knees come back to center. Uncross them. Once again, make that tabletop position with the legs. Left knee over right. Knees fall over to the right. You can even use your hand on the outside of your left leg, and then maybe the gaze goes towards your left. Notice how your energy has shifted. Are you feeling more balanced? Good. Come back to center. Knees back to center. Uncross the legs. Hug the knees into your chest. Do a little rock side to side. And let's come to happy baby to close out our movement practice. So you can grab, once again, take that big toe lock if you like. This is my favorite version of happy baby. And often when you come into happy baby, we grab the feet and your butt comes way up in the air, okay? So maybe you experiment with lowering your sacrum down to the ground. Your tailbone lengthens down. And if that means you can't grab your feet, grab your ankles or shins. That's why I like the big toe lock in this pose, because I can really ground through my sacrum. And if it feels good, take that little rock side to side. Maybe straighten one leg. Straighten the other leg. Embrace the cracks and creaks in your body. Give yourself a smile here. It's called happy baby, right? So we want to bring joy into this pose. Come back to center. Stay for another breath. So good. And then let's release. Soles of the feet together. Knees come wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Roll the shoulders under. Let your hands come down by your side. Take about 3 breaths. And then begin to extend your legs towards the corners of your mat. If you need to make any final adjustments to close out your practice, any final motions, little movements, shifting the hips, moving the jaw. I invite you, if you'd like to stay here for your meditation in your Shavasana, you are welcome to. Otherwise, just take about 3 breaths in your Shavasana, and then you can find your way into your meditation position. So it's totally up to you. And just starting to become aware of your body. And especially for today, staying in Shavasana might be particularly beneficial. So we're going to just do a little body scan today. So when we tune into the physical sensations we're experiencing, it helps us calm and soothe our nervous system. It helps us bring the energy down and reconnect to your body. Because really when you're in that Vata energy, that expansive, creative, movement energy, you're not necessarily in your body, right? So to balance that, we want to come back into our body. So let's begin with the very crown of your head. And if you would like to receive Reiki energy during this body scan, just say yes to yourself. Say, I accept. And I'll be sending you some healing Reiki energy Let's just take a moment for me to connect. Now drawing your awareness to the crown of your head. Beginning to feel a stream of light coming in through the crown. Light from above. See what color that is for you today. What color do you need? What color is going to be most soothing for you today? And if you're not sure, just let it be whatever you see, whether it's white, purple, blue, pink, green, orange, red, yellow, gold. And allow that light to begin to stream into the crown of your head and slowly move into your brain, down into your third eye center, into the pituitary and pineal glands, into the hypothalamus, letting the eyes be soft, releasing tension from your forehead, relaxing your cheeks, your jaw, feeling that light just fill up all the way down. Your tongue becomes soft and relaxed in the mouth. This light continues to move down through the neck, the throat center. And as it moves, you're not only relaxing each part, you're clearing what you no longer need in this energetic center. And the light continues to move down into the shoulders, the lower neck, the upper chest, the upper back. Moving down through your upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, palms, fingers, fingertips. Moving down into your heart space now, into your middle chest, middle back. Pausing there for a moment, feeling the light cleansing and clearing your heart space. The light continues to move down into your solar plexus, your power center, into your lower back, your navel center, your abdomen, lower belly, sacrum. Feeling it in that space between your hip points, your second chakra. Feeling the light continue to move and soften and relax as you make your way down into your lower pelvis, your lower abdomen, to the colon, through the whole pelvic bowl, even those pelvic floor muscles we were strengthening earlier. Allow those to relax, soften, release. Moving all the way down to your perineum, from your hip points, your femurs, connect through the quads and hamstrings, through the glutes, softening and relaxing as it moves down through the upper legs, into the knees, through the shins and calves, into your ankles, the heels, tops of the feet, soles of the feet, toes. Feeling complete and total relaxation in the body. You have nowhere to be in this moment, nothing to do. And if the mind has begun to wander, just recognize it. Say hello to it. And refocus on the body. Refocus on the breath. And as the light expands from the soles of your feet into the earth, allow it to connect with that earth energy light. What color does the earth energy look like? Feel your roots growing down into the soil, anchoring you, grounding you, feeling that sense of calm wash over you. Your roots go deep, deep, deep through all the layers of the earth into the core, envisioning this beautiful crystalline core at the center of the earth where your roots connect and light up. And then feel that energy move all the way up through the roots, back into the soles of your feet, back up all the way through your body, through the legs, the pelvis, up into the chest, the arms, all the way up to the crown of your head where it connects with that ether energy from the heavens above. And feel that intermixing of energies in your body, soothing, calming, relaxing you. Cleansing your entire energetic field, moving out from your physical body now. Allowing yourself to feel energetically protected as it moves away up to a meter outside of your body. And then expanding beyond that, clearing and cleansing your space, feeling that balance of ether to earth. And staying for the next few moments, the next minute or so, in this beautiful energy, feeling the earth energy, the sky energy, receiving healing Reiki energy if you accepted that. And just allow yourself to bask in this beautiful feeling. And I'll come bring you back with the chimes in just a minute. And if the mind wanders, bring your attention back to your breath and back to your body. Begin to deepen your breath. Beginning to make small movements, fingers and toes. Gradually making larger movements, moving wrists and ankles. And perhaps taking a full body stretch, extending the arms up above, extending the legs out. And then hugging your knees towards your chest. Make your way onto one side and come back to your intention. Pause here on your side. And if a new attention arises for you, what do you want to take off your mat with you today? Can you find one of self-care? And then gently pressing up into a seat. We'll close our practice together with the sound of Om. Drawing hands to heart center. Exhale the breath completely. Nice deep inhale. Sending yourself love and gratitude for showing up for you today. Sending that love and gratitude to all of those practicing throughout the world and expanding your love and gratitude to all beings in this universe. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all of you be happy and may all of you live freely. Thank you so much for your practice and your presence today. Namaste. All right, thank you all so much for joining. I'm going to come up and read all the comments that I missed. Oh, Leslie said, oh, ego eradicator. That's great, Leslie. Lisa, oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for being here. Tammy, thank you for your donation. Thank you all who are able to join today. It says 140 people were here at some point today. So how amazing and awesome is that? Sending you guys so much love that we're all able to practice together today. It's truly special. Thank you, Sandra, for your donation. I appreciate you. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Tammy, as well. Yes, have a great weekend, everyone. Mika, you are so welcome. Thank you, Jamie and Wendy, for your donation. Christine says, thank you, Melinda. Love the beautiful Reiki energy at the end. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. I hope you all feel a little bit more cleansed, grounded, and ready to move throughout your day, your evening. Sandra, you're most welcome. Oh, Patty, I'm so glad to hear that. That's exactly what you need right now. Namaste to you. Thank you, Anne, for your donation. And if anyone would like to offer an energy exchange in the form of donation, of course, feel free to donate during the live. If you have an Apple device and want to donate directly to my page, that's always much appreciated, as then Apple won't take all the extra fees that they do during the lives. If you guys have any questions, comments for me, please reach out. Also, I have a YouTube channel, which I don't really talk about a lot because I haven't posted a lot to it. My podcasts are on there. But the last few weeks, hopefully today works. Sometimes it doesn't work, but I'm also recording this for my YouTube channel. So I've got a couple classes from the last couple weeks on there, and hopefully this one will be added. So that's my goal, is to add them every week. And so you can access all of the Insight Timer classes after the fact. And there's no clicking sound on my recordings for that, so I find that super interesting that that happens on Insight Timer. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate your donation after class. Fiona, Melinda, all here. That was so wonderful. I'm heading to New Zealand next week. Fiona, you are always on the move. Probably won't be here with you until January. Yes, I'll be off the week after Christmas. I will be here next week. Next week we have a winter solstice practice, so feel free to join me. It's going to be just lovely. Sending you lots of love, Fiona, and safe travels. And Christine also says safe travels. All right, so I'm going to sign off. Sending you guys so much love. You're most welcome. You had a drink of water here. It says, oh, yes, you're right. Oh, no clicks today. Oh, actually, I didn't realize that. That's awesome. I didn't do anything different. Hopefully Insight Timers fixed their problem because it's been a while. Yeah, safe travels to everyone. And if anyone has comments, questions about Ayurveda, about the Vata energy that we were talking about today, please reach out. Please send me a message on Insight Timer. This is my version of social media. I do have... what am I trying to say? An Instagram account, which I don't post on a whole lot, but a little bit. But Lit Lotus Wellbeing is my account. And go check out everything I do. And follow me on Insight Timer. And that's a really beautiful energy exchange as well. So I really do appreciate that. Yeah, hoping that Insight Timer took care of it. Happy to know there's no clicks. All right, you all. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. I'll see some of you next week, Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Otherwise, I will be back after the new year if you're not able to join me next week. Sending you lots of love. Thank you, guys. Take care.